Welcome back. Well, if you watched last week's episode, you'll know that we rode away to Kaiaua. We went to the Bayview Hotel. We had a great break there. And while we were waiting to make our return ride back home at the conclusion of the official hog ride, we got news that the motorway was pretty much jammed up. There'd been some trouble, as there often is, on the southern motorway end, particularly around Papakura. So coming down from Bombay's was going to be quite a whole bunch of gridlock. We can get through that, of course, we're on motorbikes, but it's a pain. So we set off in small groups, and with everybody had a different idea of how best to get back while avoiding motorway congestion. So you're on board now with us. There's a group of about, I think, 3 or 4 bikes here being led out by Nev, and we're going to head up through the Hunuas and get onto the motorway at Hill Road, Manurewa, which will bypass a whole lot of the motorway congestion and us get into regular style traffic, which we would expect on a Saturday afternoon. So that's the breakdown. Let's see how this one works out. Well, so far so much the norm. In fact, as we go, we'd normally come up through Mangatawhiri here, past the old, well, the famous castle rest stop break, and coming up ahead here we'd turn left on a State Highway 2, which would lead us straight up to the bottom of the Bombays, then proceed over the motorway there, because we're just trying to get our way home quick as we can. As I mentioned, that way is not a viable option for a nice enjoyable ride home, so we're coming up now through, instead of turning left onto the State Highway 2, turn onto Lyons Road and heading up through the Hunua Ranges. So turns out this day was absolutely amazing weather-wise, so we're looking forward to a good fun ride up through here. Maybe we should come this way every time. Now, to try and get some kind of time frame around when this is taking place to explain away all the sunshine and blue skies, this ride was filmed mid-March, and it's a Saturday afternoon. We left Kaiaua at about 4:10 was when this video starts rolling, so we're going to carry on with it all the way back to Albany. It ends up being quite an interesting little ride, as you'll see. We have quite a lot of different terrain that we're travelling through. Some magnificent stuff heading up here through the Hunuas, and nice to be going through there, travelling through there when it's on dry roads, because during the winter time it can certainly get a little bit wet, slippy, and green tops all over the place. So nice to be able to come through there with none of that hindering your progress. Now, the distance travelled, quite sure the KMs on this, but we were riding from about 4:10. I got close to my home where this video finishes at the petrol station at around 5:30 or so yeah, about an hour and 20 minutes. Of course, I'm not going to see all of that. We're just going to see little edited chunks of it that's going to fit into about a 13 or 14 minute video. So let's settle in for the ride. Now, at this stage of the ride, we were all of us pretty happy with our choice to follow Nev and come up through the Hunuas, getting on at Manurewa, because we are having a sweet little ride without any kind of traffic in the way at all. And certainly not having to lane split. We can lane split, that's fine, but if you can choose not to, then yeah, I'd take this over a lane splitting situation any old day, even if it took me longer to ride this way. It's just science. At this stage we're on the Monument Road, and it's a road that comes up a lot in hog rides. Both coming and going to and from destinations, and it's a pleasure to ride on. It's a road of many moods. There's some long straight stretches on Monument, but a lot of it is just curving through the bush here, and it's fabulous riding. It's going to lead us down towards I think we're going to head down towards Brookby Road soon at some point, and that's when we have a little bit of a heart-stopping moment, which we'll see soon enough. Now as we're coming down West Road here at Brookby and turning left onto Brookby Road, it's about the time that we start to run into traffic because we're now out of the Hunua Ranges as such, and we're heading up towards heavier traffic. And one of the things we came across, this intersection up ahead. You see a car coming from the left, didn't even look, didn't pause, didn't stop, no nothing. See ya. Straight on out. Thanks mate. Good of you to use your eyes. Anyhow, no harm done, but yeah, that was just unnecessary. He had a give way sign, he had everything, we're coming straight through, just didn't even look. Anyhow, with a little bit of lane filtering going on, we end up along Hill Road and we have come up to the on-ramp State Highway 1 at the Manurewa on-ramp, and in doing so we've carved out a huge chunk of motorway that we didn't need to travel on that was pretty congested back there. You can see it's free flowing from here now, but further back upstream down south there it is not pleasant at all, so we're pretty happy with that, and now we're just stuck in regular Saturday afternoon traffic. And as you can see, we're coming up to the off-ramp near Manukau, and we're going to be saying goodbye to Nev. He's peeling off here to head off on his way home. See you later, Nev. That leaves me and Class together. Amara's on the back of this ride today, so you saw her waving there in the mirror. Can't recall, was there anyone else behind us? I'm not sure, but I would have known at the time, but the months that have passed, it escapes me. Anyway, we're just making our way through traffic, and as you can see, it's pretty easy going, and as you can see, with all the room on the road, we're able to make pretty good progress through the traffic as we make our way north. Coming up shortly, I've got a little radar alert pops up on the warning light ahead. Never did quite figure out where that unit was. Might have been on the other side of the road. I couldn't see anything on our side or the other side of the road, but always good to be alert. Stay safe. Now as we're getting closer to Mount Wellington ahead, coming up as Tip-Top Corner, we start to move into a little bit heavier traffic, and we have a little piece of lane splitting that's coming up, which is not unexpected. It's fairly typical for any day of the week in Auckland, including the weekends, or in fact almost especially the weekends. So it wasn't too bad up here. We've often been jammed up many kilometres back down the road, so this is actually quite light as far as our regular conditions go, but it did tighten up a little bit here as we come up towards Green Lane, and lane splitting was required. Lost contact with Claz at some point. He was ahead of me here, and I think he at some point up ahead he's peeling off to his own home. We're living over on the shore, so we've got to go over the harbour bridge, and that's where we're heading now, heading down through Grafton. We're going to head through the Victoria Park Tunnel and then up and over the harbour bridge to make our way back onto the North Shore. So as you can see, it's a little bit of riding that we do, not just to get out to our destination but also to get home. So we have all the fun coming and going, that's for sure. I can certainly remember travelling back to the North Shore before the Victoria Park Tunnel came into existence, and this has certainly changed things for the better in a big way. It used to be 2 lanes going each way, north and south, which was pretty diabolical. It would be jammed here all the time, but with the infrastructure project to put the tunnel in, made things a lot easier to get access to and from the bridge. And as we head along here, we're looking at St Mary's Bay, which is kind of the flatland, just precursor to the bridge. To the right is the West Haven Marina, where all the people that can't afford Harleys have got themselves some amazing boats moored there and going out and having their own fun. So some people do their sport on the water, we do ours on the road. Views are pretty good from the top of the bridge. I've actually done a bridge walk, which takes you on top of the structure that we can see above our heads there, and also underneath of the bridge. Very fascinating. I forget what the cost was. It wasn't cheap, I have to say, but it was worth it. I enjoyed that very much indeed. Quite a different view of the city. Now as we make landfall on the northern side of the bridge, the time in this video is around about close on 5:30. It's about 5:20 or so, so we've been riding for about an hour and 10 minutes. We're getting pretty close to our final destination. But there's still a couple of interesting things to see ahead, which make it worthwhile to hang around. That includes an ambulance, which we follow for a bit. He's all lit up. Somebody's having a bad day. And then someone else is having a bad day further upstream from that. There's a traffic car who pulled over somebody who wasn't quite behaving as they perhaps should have been. Anyway, that's all coming up. We can see we've shifted over to the middle lane of 3 here, because in the rear view mirror I could see an ambulance coming our way, all lit up. There he goes there, passing through. We followed him for a little spell because he was going our way, not because we're ambulance chasers or anything. I've been in an ambulance a few times. When they're all lit up, nothing good happens there, so yeah, hopefully whatever is going on, that they're able to make the difference between somebody having an awful day and somebody just having a very bad day. What surprised me about watching an ambulance move through the traffic is how slow some people are to react and get off the roadway. When you see a vehicle, an emergency vehicle like that coming up behind you, do everybody a favour and just get out of the way. Change the lane, pull over to the left or let them pass. Don't just try and speed up to see, well, I won't hold them up. No, you will. Anyway, end of rant. They weren't held up too badly, and I could see they were able to make a pretty good pace through all this traffic, and hopefully good things came from their journey today, or at least that day back in March. And we're getting real close to the conclusion of our journey now. The ambulance will see us peeling off there at Gravel Road. We're carrying on up over the hill, and as we get up over the hill approaching, I don't recall that I saw a radar alert go off, but I certainly did see somebody stop at the side of the road, and you will too. Coming up here on the left, you'll see a little Skoda wagon all lit up, and with an officer in the high-vis vest having a word to the formerly unsuspecting motorist to advise him just exactly where he went wrong, as they are wont to do. Anyway, we're coming up to the end of the journey here, Otiha Valley Road. We're going to peel off here and stop in at the mobile petrol station to fuel up. This makes the time, I think it's around about 5:35 at the moment as far as this video goes, and that's where we're going to leave it. We pull around the corner into the service station. We've been riding for about an hour and 30 minutes coming back from Kaiaua. Great day out with the whole group, and really enjoyable ride back home. So upwards and onwards until the next time we get on the bike. Take care, ride safe, see you on the next one.